Hey guys, my name's Brandon Crandall, and for my presentation, for my persuasive presentation today, I'm going to be presenting why psilocybin mushrooms should be legalized for medicinal use. I would like to start my presentation with a quote that I could not help but think of as I prepared this speech. It was said by the Dalai Lama in response to the question, "What surprises you most about humanity?" His response was, "Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die, and then dies, having never really lived." Now, with that in mind, imagine you've just woken up. You feel sick, and you feel run down. You're older than you are now, and you're actually dying of terminal cancer. And the doctors are telling you that you have less than 1 month until your body's just going to give up. You're scared, you're depressed, and you are demoralized. Not only is cancer ending your life prematurely, but it is robbing the enjoyment out of your final days on this wonderful planet. The time you could be enjoying with loved ones and reminiscing about a life well lived. You've thought about death throughout your life, and now it is staring you in the face, and you're struggling with it. How often do you think about death? What if I told you there's a way to make your transition through the end more mentally comfortable? I'm here today to talk to you about the possible benefits of psilocybin for palliative care in terminally ill patients. I've been interested in the effects of psilocybin on anxiety and depression for many years now, and I've read a lot about the subject. Psilocybin could be the key to people being able to truly enjoy their final days on Earth before moving to the next stage of existence, whatever that may be based on your beliefs or your non-beliefs. So, why would someone need help at the end of their life? It is extremely common for terminally ill patients to become depressed and demoralized. In 40% of cases, people who receive a diagnosis of cancer alone experience significant stress that can lead to panic attacks, anxiety, and depression, making a bad situation even worse. These symptoms can have a dramatic effect on daily functioning and a patient's ability to enjoy the remainder of their lives. In 2019 alone, over 600,000 people died of cancer. Think of all the people that this type of care could possibly benefit. So many of us go through life without thinking about the end. We keep ourselves busy with everything else going on in life, and then, if you are lucky or unlucky enough to know when your time is coming, it can be very hard to deal with. This is not something that only affects terminally ill patients. Have you ever heard of thanatophobia? It is the term for anxiety cause for the fear of your own death, or how you're going to die, or the process of dying. The good news is, it does not have to be this way. There is research that points to psilocybin being able to negate the negative effects that come with a terminal diagnosis, or just a cancer diagnosis. In one study called the NYU Psilocybin Cancer Anxiety Project, which was an FDA-approved clinical trial of cancer patients that were dosed in a clinical setting with psilocybin, they found that psilocybin produced immediate, significant, and sustained improvements in both anxiety and depression. And about 80% of those people showed sustained benefits nearly 7 months later. 7 months. That is after one dose. This is not a pill like an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication that you have to take every day for the rest of your life or for the term of whatever you're going through. This is from one dose of psilocybin mushrooms. They also found reductions in demoralization, which is a very common and deep source of suffering for people near the end of their life. Both demoralization and hopelessness were improved immediately after the session with psilocybin. 70% of the people reported that the experience was either the single most or in the top 5 most meaningful experiences of their lifetime. Almost 90% reported that it improved life satisfaction. These are amazing findings in my opinion, and I think that they hold a lot of hope for anyone struggling with the possibility of the end of their life And not just terminally ill patients, but how about regular people like you or I that struggle with depression or anxiety on a daily basis at any age? It can be debilitating for many of us. In another study on healthy volunteers conducted by researchers at Johns Hopkins, it was found that 2 months after sessions of psilocybin, 71% of the volunteers rated that their psilocybin experience was among their most spiritually significant experiences of their lifetimes. 79% of those volunteers rated that it had increased their current sense of personal well-being and life satisfaction. Community observers, such as their family, their friends, and their coworkers, also rated in a way that confirmed their findings. Imagine a world where your life did not end when you were diagnosed with a terminal illness, where it was simply part of the experience, and it was possible for most people to take it in stride and actually enjoy what is left, instead of becoming overcome with depression, anxiety, and demoralization. Where watching your parents get older and succumb to illness is not exacerbated by the pain of watching their mental state deteriorate due to the stress of their impending death and what it's going to cause for everyone around them. Psilocybin therapy could make that possible. So, how can we make this type of care available to the people who could truly benefit from it? For people like you or me in the future, or a loved one whose final days you want to be happy and meaningful instead of sad and riddled with stress and anxiety. We need to take action. First, we need to work on changing the federal scheduling of psilocybin. It is currently a Schedule I drug. This means it has a high potential for abuse, which it definitely still does, but in a clinical setting, it would not be abused. Schedule I drugs also have no legitimate reason for medical use. But looking at these studies and multiple other ones, I think it calls into question if it really has no medicinal value. It truly helped these cancer patients, and not just cancer patients, but regular people, improved what was left of their lives, and it could potentially help many more. Once we change its scheduling as a drug, it can be admitted to even more research studies to prove its benefits to more people. At a state level and a city level, we can work on decriminalizing the growing and possession of psilocybin mushrooms. They have already been decriminalized in Oakland, California, and Denver, Colorado. When you see the opportunity to vote for the decriminalization of psilocybin mushrooms, go out and vote. This is one action we can all take to help these medicinal fungi become less taboo and more readily available, and eventually a true means of medication for ailments such as anxiety and depression that could be brought on by any of life's trials. Thank you guys so much for watching my presentation. Stay safe out there, and I really, really enjoyed writing this one.